Happy Wednesday, mid-Missouri. It's the warmest day we're going to feel all week, and it's the warmest day we've felt so far this week. We expect temperatures to be, well, in the 80s for highs. We've been in the upper 70s over the past series of days, and we'll reach for 80 by noon. Reaching 81 is the forecast, at least, by early this afternoon. And that would be a record high set back in 2005. That was the last time we were this warm on November 8th. I believe today, yes, is November 8th. And, our forecast would, if it verifies, tie the record. It's possible we either hit or break records in some places today. So we're sunny with a stout southwest breeze throughout the morning here. We've got a lot of sunshine. We won't see clouds again after the high clouds that rolled through this morning before sunrise. We won't see clouds again until a cold front approaches. You can make that out here if you take a look at these winds rolling in from the north and that cloud cover. That is the cold front. It approaches maybe Macon, Brunswick by around 1 o'clock. We're still with winds out of the southwest, maybe starting to shift more out of the west, out ahead of this front. But the true northwest winds don't arrive near Columbia until about maybe 5 or 6 o'clock. But that is when temperatures will start to plummet. We're down into the 60s by 6 p.m. And that's after reaching for the 80s. In fact, some folks still to the south and east near I-44, Rolla, Owensville will still be in the 70s likely by around the dinner hour. But again, even they're starting to cool as those southwest winds let up. And then those northwest winds take over throughout the overnight hours, dropping us well into the 40s, some of us maybe even 30s by early Thursday morning. But we are starting clear on your Thursday. We will add more clouds with somewhat of a secondary front rolling through here. That is going to keep highs in the 50s between that and the cooler air behind the front. And as we head into Thursday night, Wednesday morning, we'll see temperatures fall even further down into the 30s to start early Friday morning. As we look towards the long term, this is what we're seeing aloft. This is this upper level kind of trough that brings through that cold air. As we head into the weekend, we will be watching a couple of disturbances pretty carefully for Sunday and to Monday. Right now, it looks like the atmosphere is going to be too dry to bring us rain, but it's something we're keeping a close eye on. And then over the true long term into next week, we'll see upper level ridging, and that's basically going to push our jet stream well to the north. And that should bring us more mild conditions all week next week, and maybe some quieter conditions as well, although we'll have to watch for example, little dips in our ridging just like that, and that may bring us potentially a few disturbances that we'll have to watch for rain chances. But really, truly, our next big wave doesn't really arrive until potentially next weekend. That could derail our warmer trend, but overall, next week, it's looking like we'll keep temperatures a little bit above average. The 6 to 10 day temperature outlook showing generally above average temperatures. This shows you the probability of whether it be below or above average. Red, especially the color you see here, is a fairly good probability that we're going to see temperatures at least at or above average. And that continues over the next 2 weeks, so that would take us through November 21st. But then things are changing for the West Coast, and that may be a sign of things to change for us, maybe by the time we get to the end of the month. But really, temperatures, they're near normal the rest of the week with highs in the 50s. Highs are in the 60s into next week, and that's what we mean by above average. It doesn't look like it's going to get exceedingly hot, but it looks like we could spend some time in the 60s next week, and potentially, again, according to our 8 to 14 day outlook, potentially over the next 2 weeks.